Hey, Darlington County School District, and welcome back to another In the Know. So here we are at the end of May, and it's the last week of school for students, our graduations, and of course the last day of work for our teachers and school staff. So we have made it. I can sense the excitement. I've been part of the celebrations, and we are all looking forward to wrapping up on Friday of this week as we finish out the school year. The first item I'd like to mention is we had a work session, a board work session this past Monday, and the primary focus of the work session was the budget for next year. So we are currently in the midst of working on the budget and what all that entails. A lot of that also has to do with our state legislators. And as you know, in my prior In the Know, I mentioned about raises that I've recommended and that the board is considering that were accepted in the first reading. And of course, that is a $2,000 raise for all the cells in the teacher salary scale, as well as a step increase. And then for all other employees, a 2% increase plus a step increase. And so those are my recommendations. The board passed that on first reading. We are still working towards second reading, which will be in the June board meeting. Unfortunately, our legislators have hit an impasse, and so they have not passed the final budget between the House version and the Senate version. And so they have actually put legislation out there for what they call a continuing resolution. And what that means is we would actually have the same exact budget next year as we had this year until they can get this worked out. We're hoping that they can resolve this soon, certainly sometime within the next few weeks, so we can go ahead and pass the budget that we have. But obviously, if that continuing resolution is in place and all school districts have to stay with the same amount of money, we will be on hold for any new monies, including the raises, unfortunately. So again, it doesn't mean we won't be able to implement them. We're just on pause until we can move forward with the new budget and new monies that are available. We will keep you posted on that and let you know as soon as we see clearance. And hopefully that'll be in time for our June board meeting when we do the second reading of the budget. Now also in that budget and in the conversations that we had, there's also requests from the district for positions, there's requests from the schools for positions, and there's board priority requests that they had as well. And so we had a chance to talk through a lot of those position requests and try to prioritize those requests at the individual schools. And so, some of those positions, again, the board, healthy conversations about what they would support. And so we were working on narrowing that list down. And then, certainly for the district requests that we have as well, and some of the programs that we have, working on potential positions there and trying to whittle that down. Also, with the budget, we're talking about capital projects and capital needs, which have to do with our buildings, maintenance, operations. So, for example, HVAC, roofs, those types of things, as well as technology and potential new projects for athletics, for example. So, went through the full list that the district has presented and talked through some of those items that we have there. And so the board has approved the majority, if not all of those projects that we had out there. So for example, renovations of bathrooms in some of our schools that were on the list that we are moving forward with. Canopies, either repairing canopies or putting in new canopies at several of our schools to keep people out of the weather when that takes place. HVAC modifications and new HVAC units being put in. Technology, of course, is part of our capital projects and capital needs. And for athletics, for example, turf fields. So we're looking at putting in turf fields at all of our high schools that are on that list as well. So we're excited to move on, and thankfully with the capital funds, we have those currently, and so we will continue to move forward with those throughout the summer. And so that was the majority of the work session. Again, we have a regular board meeting in June, and we will look forward to pin down everything that we have discussed so far. Also, there'll be public meetings for public input as well on the budget. The first one will be at 5 p.m. on June 8th at the district office. The second one will be at 6 p.m. on June 8th at the Hartsville High School Media Center. And again, depending on what the legislators have decided, there may not be much to discuss at those meetings, but I hope that there is. The last note on finances, of course, is the retention bonus. And as I have said in my prior In the Nose, those will be distributed to all of our employees by the last day of school. So by Friday, the 26th of May, we will have those out in the direct deposit accounts. Remember, with the retention bonuses, for certified employees, the fact that you signed your contract is confirmation that you have accepted your retention bonus. And then we also have another form that has been sent out for all other employees that will need to be signed electronically, again with the terms of the retention bonus, predominantly that you've got to stay with us for the year to keep the retention bonus. So those should have come out to you through email over the past couple days. So again, certified, there won't be a form that you have to sign. Your contract pretty much takes the place of that. Classified employees, you will need to sign the form to be able to get your retention bonus. And again, we've got the majority of those forms that have been turned in. So hope that's a little blessing for you as you start your summer after Friday. Also, we have Teacher of the Year and Support Staff of the Year that has just been announced and publicized. So congratulations to all of our school Teachers of the Year, new Teachers of the Year for next year, and our Support Employees of the Year for next year. So we are looking forward to celebrating you at our back to school convocation when we come back in July, at the end of July. And again, congratulations. Also at our back to school convocation, we'll look forward to naming our Teacher of the Year, district-wide Teacher of the Year, as well as our district-wide Support Staff Employee of the Year. Also, that information with the names and the schools is available on our website right now. So, and our social media accounts. So we are publicizing and celebrating all of those folks through all the means that we have for communications. We have graduations, of course, end of the year. So the Mayo High School graduation is on Thursday the 25th, 5:30 p.m. at the SIMT facility at Florence Darlington Tech. And then on Friday, we have 3 morning graduations. We have Lamar and Darlington High Schools will be at 9 o'clock in their football stadiums. And if there is rain, that they will be inside in their basketball arenas. At this point in time, it looks like we're avoiding any type of precipitation. And then at 10 o'clock is the Hartsville graduation, which is actually in the arena already. So again, all 4 of our high schools, we congratulate our seniors that are walking across the stage, accepting their diploma, and ready to start the next chapter in their lives. It's a great time of year. Those also, by the way, the graduations will be live streamed, so anybody can access those on a computer or on a device. Those links will be on our websites as well, and they will be videoed through our YouTube channel. So again, live streamed through our YouTube channels for all the graduations. In case you have a neighbor or a significant other, you'll be able to watch virtually as that happens. Another item I'd like to mention is we had a new initiative in the district this year called Healthy Me, Healthy SC. And it was a program, it was a combination with MUSC as well as my favorite university, Clemson University. And so this program implemented healthy initiatives in 11 of our schools across the school district. For example, they planted gardens, they built garden boxes, they did walking initiatives, they did healthy food initiatives. All of our schools that participated, the 11, did a great job of focusing on the whole student and being healthy. And so we're grateful because MUSC and Clemson presented each one of those 11 schools with a $1,000 check to put towards more healthy initiatives in their schools for this upcoming year. And then we had a grand prize winner, Spalding Middle School. Congratulations, Spalding Middle School. You were the first champion of the Healthy Me, Healthy SC initiative in the Darlington County School this year. And they received an additional $3,000 to put towards other initiatives in the school for next year. So I was very proud of the schools that participated. The MUSC personnel said that our implementation was probably the best that they had seen across the state out of all the school districts that they've started this with. And so, of course, my response was I knew that would be the case because I knew we would be the best at it. But again, hats off and congratulations to all of our schools that participated, and we look forward to this more next year as we continue the Healthy Me, Healthy SC initiative. I left one of our groups off last month when we were talking about the month of May and the celebrations. And so this is where we try to keep up with everything that's going on. And of course, May was teacher appreciation and bus drivers and on that I mentioned in the last one. So everybody that I mentioned in the last one. And then also it is Better Hearing and Speech Month. The month of May is. And so for our speech language pathologists and our audiologists that work very hard throughout the school district, it's a time to celebrate them and the work that they do as well. So thank you for helping us with Better Hearing and Speech Month to that group. And with that, we come to a close of the last In the Know of the school year. I hope and pray that you have a wonderful summer break. For those of you all that will be out of the schools, and that you get time to spend with family, friends, that you get a chance to recharge and re-energize. And we will look forward to seeing you on that fourth week in July when you come back. And for everybody else that may be working during the summer across the district, it's a different type of workload, and so tends to be a little quieter. Tends to be not quite as stressful. And so again, for everybody across the Darlington County School District, I hope you have a blessed summer and get a chance to enjoy family, friends, and re-energize. And again, I want to thank you for everything that you have done this school year for our students, for our families, for each other, and how you have taken care of all of the Darlington County School District family. So I look forward to a great new year. We have lots of great stuff to tell you about when you come back. We've got new goals from our strategic planning process. You know, of course, the Orange Frog Initiative continues, and we have lots of new stuff to tell you about. But I'll hold off on that until we get together for the first In the Know when we come back for the next school year. So as I always tell you, hug on your family, tell them how much you love them, tell them how much we appreciate them sharing you with us, and I wish you all the best as you wrap this week up, and I will see you next year in the Know.